Bollywood lost its soul. That Bollywood, the industry we grew up watching, the one that shaped our childhood memories, has lost its soul. How's it even surviving? Can we even call it alive? I think it's in the ICU. The moment that mask comes off, it's over. And the harsh truth is, it's us, the audience, who are truly guilty for this. What was Bollywood's soul? To understand what's lost, we need to remember what Bollywood's soul truly was. From the 1960s to 2015, Bollywood's greatest weapon, or you can say its hukum ka ikka, was emotion. Bollywood had mastered the art of portraying emotions so perfectly that you didn't just watch them, you felt them. The bond between two brothers, the love between a father and son, the bittersweet pain of first love, the heartbreak of separation, the joy of birth, and the grief of loss. Bollywood made these emotions, these moments magical. They were never just scenes, they were emotions brought to life. And specifically, Hindi cinema never lacked great content. It gave us masterpieces in every genre. Sholay in action, Andaz Apna Apna in comedy, Kahani in thriller, 1920 in horror, Mr. India in sci-fi and fantasy. Bollywood has done it all, but there is one genre that truly shaped Bollywood into what it became. The genre that built Bollywood, the genre that took Bollywood across the world, the genre that made actors into superstars, the genre that created the Bollywood magic. That genre is rom-com. Just think about it. Was the longest running movie in Indian history. Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge was the genre behind most cult classic Bollywood films. Rom-coms. And now ask yourself, after 2020, how many rom-coms have you watched that could become your all-time favorite? Maybe 5, maybe 10 at max? But here is the real twist. This point isn't even that valid because Bollywood films were never one genre film. A cult classic Bollywood film will touch every genre throughout the film. And for me, movies aren't just about genres, they are of two kinds, art and mass. Art films reflect reality, and mass films take you as far away from reality as possible. And this is the real reason Bollywood fell. Yes, Bollywood has declined in recent years, while South Indian cinema has skyrocketed. But why? A few years ago, film critic Suchitra Tyagi made a statement that perfectly describes today's Indian theatre audience. If I'm going to a theatre now, I want an out-of-body experience. I want a roller coaster ride. Simply put, Indian films were never meant to be just one genre. A true blockbuster Indian films always had comedy at the start, romance in the middle, drama for depth, larger-than-life action, and a satisfying mass climax. And today's South Indian films, they took this formula and exaggerated it to the max. Action out of this world, romance, Pushpa and Rocky high-level intensity, drama full of massy dialogues, and ending a massive cliffhanger to set up part 2. And this is the true taste of Indian audience. We don't want cinema, we want mass movies. We don't want to feel a movie, we want to celebrate it. But did our taste change overnight? Actually, no, it was always somewhere in the middle. For a while, Ayushmann Khurrana's film pulled it in a different direction. But the real game changer, Goldmine Films, the company that owned the Hindi dub rights to the most cult classic South Indian films. For last 20-15 years, the dubbed South Indian films kept running on TV, creating a soft corner in our heart. And then came Baahubali. Not only turned that soft corner into a 3 BHK flat in our hearts, but it completely reshaped the industry. When Baahubali released in 2015, it didn't get as much appreciation in the South as it did in North India. And at that moment, South Indian filmmakers saw the opportunity. They knew what the audience wanted, and what happened next? One after another, out of the syllabus South Indian films started dropping. And the audience, which once had a neutral taste, fully shifted towards mass cinema. Bollywood, an industry that once created cult classics, suddenly jumped into the race for massy cinema. Bollywood, which once cared about making the best films, now only cares about making the biggest box office hits. But tell me this, if you ask MS Dhoni to play basketball, will he succeed? If you tell Cristiano Ronaldo to play cricket, will he perform? Of course not. Not because they are bad athletes, but because that's just not their game. Bollywood, which mastered emotion through drama, started copying South's emotion through action formula. Why? Because by then the taste of Indian audience had completely changed. Instead of staying true to its own soul, Bollywood broke itself apart, trying to force someone else's soul into its own, and that struggle is still going on. And the final question is, can Bollywood be saved? I think Bollywood's soul isn't completely lost, but if it keeps chasing box office numbers instead of making memorable films, then it will never recover. South cinema understood its audience and gave them what they wanted. Bollywood needs to do the same, not by copying South, but but by embracing what made it great in the first place. Because of the end of the day, the true soul of Bollywood wasn't just emotion, it was the connection it had with its audience. And the moment it finds that connection again, Bollywood will rise again.